Hello everyone, my name is Alexander. I am involved with underliners and blown cooling. Over 14 years ago, I got my hands on this very rare story in the form of a Volkswagen Type 3 with blown cooling, of course. And now, literally in a few episodes, we will gather a complete abandoned car and get it running.
No, here. Less. Good, I would say. Yes, so she is good. Usually, not the roof. Yes, good, because we are not scattering, all right?
Is it okay or not? Great.
If it doesn't work out here, just alright.
So, in front of us is the body, the upper part of the Volkswagen Type 3 for our latitudes. It's a very rare car. A lot of work has already been done here. It's evident that it has gone through welding and painting. It looks decent. Original red color.
So they didn't change it. The car was red before too. So for this body, now I'll step outside. We were just unloading. For this body, we have this kind of soup package, as they say. Here are doors, some panels I don't understand, some bumper parts, well, other things. We need to sort this out. The deadlines are extremely tight. We absolutely don't have time, so we'll be in a hurry.
I am happy to share what's happening. Cool, right? And the lower part, I've already worked on the lower part. I'll approach it now. I want to demonstrate it. Here is my warehouse. Here is the lower part on which I have already done a lot of work. It was also in the state of bolts and nuts. Now don't pay attention. My generator is below. Now, if you look, the bottom is also fully painted.
I have already assembled the entire chassis. The shock absorbers, as you can see, are galvanized. All parts are hardware. New brake lines have been installed up to the point where I also lubricated the cables. New tires, restored rims. In front, the front part is assembled along with the front suspension. I will take it out and show it in more detail now. And the movement needs to consist in this. I need to connect the body to the bottom. Cool designs. The car is actually based on a Beetle. Connecting the lower part with the upper part. After this, we can hang all the other attachments here. We bought and prepared rubber parts for this. Such rubber parts are installed. Install the hood, install the fenders. All fasteners need to be bought again. Then in the same style as on the bottom. Have them done in yellow. Well, have them galvanized. Ask for the yellow color. Stretch the ceiling. There's no ceiling. I'll send it out now. We'll sew it. Install the front and rear glass. In general, there's not much to describe here. I've already started working on the engine. The engine here has two carburetors, which is cool. It's based on the classic Beetle with air cooling. These two carburetors have been added. The engine, in principle, I've already somewhat started. They have already bought a big stroker kit for large volume. I will assemble the engine there. Basically, we'll discuss everything with you. So that's it. Off we go, as they say.
To connect our body with its lower part, we first need to install the sealing rubber. Such a new factory part is being sold. It is used not only on the Type 3, but also on the Beetle and so on. There are several ways to install this rubber seal. At the factory, there are these small metal nails, and they are almost hammered into a tiny hole there. And then I've seen how a long protruding part from below rusts badly. I thought of several different options, from gluing to screwing in screws, and settled on using small rivets, which I will install by lubricating the holes with grease, with anti-corrosion treatment, and placing them very sparsely.
I will make holes very sparsely, mainly just to go around corners and to provide tension on the main path of the seal. And then from below this rivet, from below right here in this groove, because there is access here, that's exactly the problem. Below I will cover it with a small drop of anti-corrosion. Well, nothing special. By the way, the drill bit set is cool. You can pick small bits that closely match the rivets. I take the rivets and will use a knife to cut. Also need to cut a hole for the bolts in the rubber. That's how it covers them. I'll cut and drill with a knife rivet. And that's it. Basically nothing too special here. Now I'll set it up and demonstrate what it looks like. Okay, and this is a very aggressive grease, so to speak, grease from drives, CV joint grease. It's very resistant to water. Now let's put the rivet in place. You can use classic wax anti-corrosive. No, this time I won't use it. I'll apply it elsewhere. I'll show where it is also a useful, cool thing in a spray. Very convenient.
So we install the rivet.
Prepared the chassis around the perimeter of the joint. I've completely placed the rubber. It was a bit tough to get through the corners, but I have some little tricks for that. I'll also put a drop of sealant on the sharp transitions. Everything will be okay. Then I found rubber fittings for this, recalled how I saw it all on diagrams, and for the interesting, I hung the body on the winch. I have a crossbeam up there. And now I will smoothly lift the body up. They pump out the bottom and lower the body down. This is a well-practiced technique. I have connected a Volkswagen Beetle like this several times, and I will apply the same technology to this car. This is roughly how it looks. This angle will be great. There are a bunch of boxes scattered around. In these boxes are doors, hoods, and everything will need to be mounted on the car, which will be connected to the chassis so that nothing breaks off and it's a bit more fun. Alright, well, I'm starting. As you can see, for hoisting with the winch, I've attached straps to the body, just chose a suitable hole on the body. At the back, I secured it to the seat belt hole. Basically everything went great, no damage to the body. The mounts here are very sturdy, so we can keep going. With the car, they brought me a lot of boxes and door panels. There are also some ceiling remnants here. The ceiling needs to lay everything out, measure it all again, check it, and after that send it off for sewing a new one. And now I will open all these boxes, see what's inside. There should be two doors, a bit already assembled, like with the glass preliminarily inserted and so on. Therefore, we'll see what's in the boxes, and whatever can be attached, we put on the body. If there's any hardware missing, for example, the hardware for connecting the chassis to the top, I've already started preparing here using U-shaped plates instead of washers. If there's any hardware missing, I'll make a small list and go to the store. We have a very big automotive hardware supermarket. In principle, there you can find a lot of different parts, latches, fasteners, washers of various strength classes, and so on. So of course, this greatly simplifies movements like this. Nevertheless, here, for example, in such places, there is specific fasteners, screws with a conical shape, with a rounded head, and so on. They are in a visible area, and I will check. Some of them will likely have to be ordered. All right, well, let's move on. Obviously, before assembly, you need to run through all the threads. You can use a screwdriver if you're confident. So, after threading, I usually treat the adjacent surfaces a bit with a preservative. Well, in this case, I spray a little classic wax preservative from a can into the hinge through a hole. It's convenient for small doses. But when it comes to large volumes like thresholds or large hidden cavities, then I use already
liter containers for spraying with a compressor.
I always blow out small things with a small spray can, very convenient. So stocked up on fasteners here, as you can see, there's a lot of stainless steel in color because it doesn't touch the metal. And if possible, you can use stainless steel because there's exposure from outside. The wheel operates openly and there's no underlining. I'm at this supermarket Metiza. Such a cool building, and it's actually my favorite place. Just look at the entertainment here for men. So I'm heading back now, and I got anti-corrosion stuff. I get a medium-sized epoxy. It also costs a pretty penny. This little pile cost around $15. This I have no idea, $3. Put on the door. Such a cool construction. Since it's Volkswagen Type 3, it uses parts from the bus, the Beetle, like some rubber pieces, gaskets, little elements, the sealant. Well, it's a combo. They, of course, took what they had, pieced together this car, but it promises to be quite cool. So, and immediately a few notes here. I glued a little corner so that the door without a lock wouldn't get damaged. I immediately found a few notes here, naturally. Well, firstly, the most noticeable thing, of course, is such rusty hardware. Here, I zoomed in a little. These rusty fasteners are no good. We will remove and replace them. Oh, then I noticed incorrect fasteners screwed in here. Well, there definitely shouldn't be these kinds here. And the most unsightly thing, of course, is the lock, which didn't undergo secondary galvanization after the factory process. And this detail is very noticeable. It cannot be left as it is. And accordingly, these screws cannot be like this at all. Here, because from all these little details, naturally, the overall picture is composed later. The car seems to be completely restored, but you open the door and there's such an obviously used lock. I believe it shouldn't be like that at all. Here, therefore, right now I'm fully assembling the whole car, putting everything together and then writing everything down on a sheet, listing what needs modifications, where there will be regalvanizing and replacing those screws, and so on. That's why I'm now sketching out all the elements. Plus we'll see how it looks overall. I've never seen such a car live. It's very, let's say, exclusive, as I already mentioned. Let's put it together at least to see how it looks. Right now it looks very funny. I've rummaged through all the boxes and barely found this lid. It's such a strange shape. I don't know, something, look as if it's the lid of some Smurf refrigerator maybe. I have no idea what they have there. Seeing this for the first time, geez, I've prepared the fasteners, now I'll show them to you. There's a little nuance with the fasteners now. They are a bit non-standard, but I'll show you why they are non-standard. Here are the bolts themselves. There's nothing special about them. The trick is in the washer. The washer is shaped like a mushroom, slightly curved, and it is a spring washer. And in some cars they use such washers. You know, they're like a piercing washer, a little star, and when tightened they really damage the paint. I don't want to ruin the paint, and at the same time I don't want the lid to come loose and wobble. That's why I use these thick, nice spring washers. During the rough assembly I place it the other way around, so as not to leave marks on the paint right away. Only when the cover is fully positioned as I want and I'm satisfied, I remove the washer one bolt at a time, flipping it with the curved part facing up towards the bolt. And with that edge, it's just slightly sharp there, as it's not a perfect piece, I place it towards the side. The actual part. So there's this nuance. Cool washers, I really love them. And even if you just use it as a washer, it's thick, it's more like an automotive one. Such a washer, if it's usually made of thin metal, considering that it's thin metal, often Turkish fasteners, well, it's less preferable than this one. I often use this. We gathered a little more. And here it turns out on the hood, look, there's really a spot that resembles a piglet's snout. All right. And there's an interesting thing at the back now I wanted to show. I took off the coffer. And the rear part is very much like the rear of a Renault 5.
Look, something is missing. If I install Renault lights now, Takeda, it will look very similar. I wiped the cover and immediately checked for damage. No, there is no damage despite all the transportations it went through, and it has been lying around for many years. Everything is cool. On the hood, in principle, there are no particular issues either. There are some small scuffs. I will immediately degrease the hood and give a light polish to those areas that seem suspicious to me. Well, just to understand the condition of the paintwork and plan everything in advance. Here, and you can also pry this little spot. But for now, it's quite unclear. It's time to move on to the wings. I'll take out the door now. We will hang the door and then hang the fenders. Well, just a little from here. If you look, it's really unclear. Some kind of small boat, it seems.
By the end of the day, we have this cute little station wagon. Then I assembled some body panels, studied the structure a bit, and I hadn't taken it apart at all. And this is the first time I'm seeing something like this. So everything I did related to this topic was Volkswagen Beetle, Volkswagen Transporter, which I deal with on an ongoing basis. Since this car is based on that, some things were intuitive. But nonetheless, everything I'm familiar, everything's so cool. A gasket is placed here, well, along the entire wing. We bought it, but I haven't installed it. The wing is removable and it's supposed to be installed here. I was measuring without it because when I tried with it, everything almost fell apart in my hands. I was more interested in sketching out the panels, getting the overall picture, studying the construction a little because I spent a lot of time with the rear wings, and then when I figured out how they actually attach, it turned out there weren't enough rubber parts. There is a sealing rubber around this ventilation hole. A sealing rubber runs along the bottom, and here at the top, two rubber pieces installed. I have it. It's plastic colored, looks great, decorative. Here. So those positions that need to be ordered additionally inside. So, plus I found out there are no holes for the moldings. And it's not entirely clear what's going on with the moldings. I'll rummage through the boxes, see if there are moldings, if there are clips for them. Well, this topic again slightly intersects with the same Beetle. Perhaps these parts fit. Also, it's unclear what's with the mirror. And, in general, I haven't even looked inside the interior yet. I will check all this and share it with you in the next episode. So, for now, that's all for this episode. It was nice to share the build of such a cool, unusual car with you. Well, it's really fun.